opportunities to bring runners home yesterday. Reagan Johnson, the speedster, will get things started for the Razorbacks. They have a chance to claim this weekend series on the road if they can find a win today or tomorrow. Their victory yesterday has already launched them back to the top strength of schedule, #1 RPI in the nation once again. Johnson last year's second-team All-Conference. She won that 2A state track title in the 300-meter hurdles just across the highway here on the campus of the University of Texas.
In game one, Texas had a shift on Johnson. 3 outfielders pretty much in left field, and today you don't see a shift at all.
You wonder how much of that is the difference between Cavan and Gutierrez and what they throw in the circle. Whatever Gutierrez is throwing, the fans who made their way out on this damp evening would love to see more of it. An early strikeout.
You can see her Sitlali was working away, and then she was able to capitalize and keep going out of the zone to get that chase from Johnson.
So with 1 out, that gives way to Brinley Bain. Bain yesterday 1 for 2 with a walk as well. Got to run the base paths a couple of times. She is one of your top freshmen across the country, not just here in the SEC with the numbers she's been putting up this year. But Texas happy not to be dealing with the speed of Reagan Johnson on the base paths right now with her 18 stolen bases. Instead, 1 out, nobody on for Bain.
With Bain's discipline at the plate, I mean, you probably wouldn't even think of her as a freshman.
Yesterday, by reaching base, that's 12 straight games. She has reached successfully the second longest streak for any Razorback that's currently active this year. She leads all of Division I freshmen in terms of on-base percentage, but she'll be sat down. That's back-to-back strikeouts for Gutierrez.
Again with that outside change-up off-speed pitch that Sitlali likes to bring in. Working away to lefties right now, able to get some swing and misses on that outside corner.
That'll give way to the All-American in Ella McDowell. The sophomore right back up the middle, Leanne Good, no sweat. Well, we had to wait a little bit longer for game 2 to get underway, but the wait was worth it. Gutierrez with the start tonight. 3 up, 3 down against the Hogs. Time for the Horns to grab their bats. 3 up, 3 down. They'll try to hold serve against this potent lineup for Texas that they held fairly quiet. Top third of the order for the Longhorns, just 1 for 9 yesterday. They will see Peyton Burnham for a second straight day. Burnham came in for the save, the final 2 outs in that 7th inning. Henry, Stewart, and Martinez, followed by the all-time home run and RBI queen here at Texas, Reese Atwood. Again, we saw Burnham come in to get the final couple of outs and quiet a Longhorn lineup that was starting to find its stride just a little too late in last evening's game number 1. Henry with a shot. This will carry out towards the warning track, but it'll die down into the glove of Johnson, 1 away. As you take a look at the numbers for whether you want to say Ace B or Ace 1A for the Razorbacks, incredible numbers for the sophomore.
Burnham has nearly cut her walks in half compared to last year. That rise and change, she's able to mix in and then work on the outer half.
She's allowed just 3 earned runs in her last 31 innings of work, including the 2/3 last night. Katie Stewart was 0 for 3 against Razorback pitching yesterday. All 3 were strikeouts. I know she would love to get another crack at what was called strike 3 in that final plate appearance last night. What a year it has been for Katie. A single-season home run record for the Texas program, one that was set 2 years ago by still current Longhorn Reese Atwood. And one of those 24 home runs, perhaps a little bit more memorable than the rest, off her own sister of Northern Illinois earlier this year. And her sister was trying to fire that pitch in the opposite batter's box, but left it just a little too fat.
But how great of a feeling is it to be able to play against your sister and be on the same field as her during your college career?
Yeah, a special moment. Long before SEC play got underway. What a treat. This is every weekend in the conference. It seems like 2 nationally ranked programs, let alone 2 top 10 teams. You see the improvements from what was already an impressive campaign last year when she was a part of that national championship run. 2-2 offering to K-Stu. And the count will go full. 1 out, nobody on after Caden Henry's fly out to center. And with all the rain we've had the past 48 hours, temperatures have dipped as we are in the high 50s here in Austin, Texas. And that ball will die after hitting Stewart in the batter's box.
Katie Stewart has just had this amazing confidence about her getting into the box. She commits to the pitches that she wants and then battles when she has 2 strikes.
Battling here and another payoff pitch. That'll be a souvenir ball foul back beyond the net. Robert Guest, our home plate umpire, joined by Gil Zayas and Mark Corris out on the field. And these 2 teams will close out their regular seasons against each other tomorrow. There's another one pulled foul. The rain finally started to let up. We still have rain coming down, but much more playable than what we witnessed when there was a tarp on the field all day long.
Speaking of pulling it foul, Coach White made a comment the other day that he knows exactly what Stewie's exit velo is because he has to dance down the foul line.
I heard his health insurance premiums have gone up ever since he signed Katie Stewart. Might want to take out an extra policy as quickly as she gets that barrel around on the bat with him standing down there at third.
Keeps him in his prime.
This one carrying out towards center, but not far enough. Fans thought they were going to see an end to this 14-inning drought for Texas in Austin. Their last run scored was Katie Stewart's walk-off in that 3rd game against Oklahoma.
Katie Stewart staying true to her plan, getting this pitch that was low but stayed pretty middle, taking it deep to center, but just short enough of the fence.
Loud out to center. That gives way to Vivi Martinez. Again, as if it's not tough enough with that 10-foot outfield wall from pole to pole. The weather not working with the hitters. The helm of Maryland for taking over the program in Fayetteville. Former national champion in her playing days with Cal. And she might be the smarter of the 2 head coaches. She does not stand in the third base coach's box. She leaves that to her assistants. Bell. This one straight up the middle of Martinez. So fluid. Boy, this was a Texas infield last night that made a lot of tough balls look routine. Vivi Martinez leads the way.
Vivi just has so much range up the middle, playing shortstop. You wouldn't even know that she was injured last year with how much authority she has on the field.
That ball took 2 hops, and she still got the throw over. Here's some of the good news in addition to the win for Arkansas yesterday. A tiny victory, seeing Dakota Kennedy back in the lineup for the first time since having to leave against Oklahoma. You see the evidence with the knee brace on her right leg, the DP. See if she can be the first base runner today for Arkansas. Gutierrez struck out the first 2 batters she faced in the first. Now, with the help of her infield, has gotten a couple of ground ball outs, retiring the first 4 Razorbacks she has seen on this Friday. Kennedy last year an All-American for the 2nd time. She was all Big 12 last year at Arizona. We'll see a couple of former Wildcats in this battle today, and maybe even one in the booth. That one not tempting for Kennedy. Dakota Kennedy bats behind Tiana Bell. They've been teammates, it seems like, since 8th grade when they were travel ball teammates together. Now trying to team up to lead the Razorbacks to the Women's College World Series. Katie Stewart able to field her position over there first. We talked about Vivi Martinez last year being out. Katie Stewart was among those filling that void at shortstop, did so admirably for settling in at first base this year.
Yeah, Katie Stewart, I mean, she just took the reins, and wherever she was put, she had the confidence to play there.
She's also relieved Reese Atwood some behind the plate. I think Mike White came into the year thinking he was going to give Reese more rest than I think everybody else realistically believed would happen. Reese would just as soon be behind that plate every single game. Perhaps double headers you'll see her give way to K-Stu. Davison just gets a piece of that, now in an 0-2 hole. Carly Davison, your player of the week in the SEC, coming off that performance against Missouri last weekend where she hit .667. Where she's a transfer from Utah, where she reunited with a familiar face. DJ Gasso was on that Utah staff. The grades not just in Texas history, but college softball. You see the numbers already, career records set here on the 40 acres in home runs and RBI. That RBI mark was broken last year as a junior. Almost half of her career hits have been for extra bases. So she'll lead things off, followed by Leanne Good and Hannah Wells, the freshman, facing Peyton Burnham. We've yet to see a base runner for either team through the first inning and a half. As these two pitchers today picking right back up where yesterday's aces left off for the Longhorns and the Razorbacks.
Reese Atwood had a hit to left field yesterday for a single. Maybe that starts her weekend off strong and continuing these line drives to set the tempo for Texas.
Yeah, had one of the 4 hits for the Longhorns. A lot of it came late. Just could not push the 2 runs necessary to tie it up. Of course, Reese, before the season got started, got to spend time with the women's national team after last year being the top catcher in the nation. This one pulled foul. Just a bit wide left. Doesn't mean there won't be a car insurance claim worth the same. 1-2 offering from Burnham.
Just missed, going up and in, and then switching eye levels, going down and away.
Able to fan Atwood as the first 4 Longhorn hitters have been retired by Peyton Burnham. Her first strikeout on this Friday evening.
The pitch before this, she went to that same spot and then expanded the zone a little bit to see if Reese Atwood would chase, and got the strikeout there.
Gives way to Leanne Good, who, safe to say, flew under the radar last year going into the postseason. Had 15 hits once the NCAA tournament got underway last year. Second generation softball player. Her mom Shannon played down the road at UTSA. And Leanne's been better than good. She's been great, both with the bat and with her glove. Moving from shortstop to second base this year with the return of Vivi Martinez. And she split time with Katie Stewart last year at shortstop defensively.
Coach White explained her to be an unsung hero. She was hot at the start of the season and cooled off a little bit, but she has been that person in those moments to come back for the team, just like in Game 1.
First 3 pitches off the mark. Finally a strike thrown by Burnham. 1 out, nobody on. And Burnham with back-to-back strikes to keep Good at the plate. In Burnham last year, freshman All-American out of Eugene, Oregon, where she was twice a state champion in the Pacific Northwest. Took a couple of extra pitches, but there's a free pass. Good, the first base run of the day for either team. It comes here in the home half of the second with 1 out. And that'll give way to Hannah Wells, the freshman for the Longhorns, a two-way player whose first 3 collegiate hits all cleared the outfield wall. First of which came in that great tournament in San Antonio, and then her first home game. She actually pitched the home opener this year for the defending national champions. And she'll put this one in play. It'll be a tough test, and ultimately Riho just not enough arm behind that. Longhorns have 2 aboard. including good in scoring position. Hannah Wells with the first base hit of the day. The infield single.
Hannah Wells is just an all-around clutch player. Young versatility. Can't wait to see what she does in the future. I mean, to be a pitcher and to lock in to be a pitcher and then also be a hitter at the same time. I mean, you're battling through two different positions.
Gives way to Kaya Altmaier. Again, it's a Texas team that last year's national championship squad did not rely very heavily on transfers. That's still true this year. Of course, Jolie Mitchell a couple years ago coming over from Notre Dame. This year it's Kaya Altmaier coming from Arizona. I mentioned a couple of former Wildcats, one in each dugout tonight, along with one up in the broadcast booth as Kaya's following your path from Tempe to Austin. Chance for two to get out of the inning. Will not be able to beat Altmaier. They do get Wells at second, 2 away, but Texas has Leanne Good 60 feet away from giving them their first run of the weekend. So no ball has left the infield, but runners on the corners, and now the infield all right now cheating in with J.C. Nichols, another staying out freshman this year. You had 3 different freshmen get starts early this year at third base trying to fill a hole that used to be named Mia Scott, who's, of course, going to be playing pro this summer up the road in Round Rock. But ultimately, Nichols wasn't just the best defensive option. Her bat started to come alive as well, making it an easy choice for Mike White to continue to lean on her. See if she can come through here with 2 outs. A 2-out RBI hit for J.C. Nichols to score Leanne Good.
J.C. Nichols became a triple threat halfway through the season, was able to get through the box as a slapper, poke it to the left side, gaps, and get that run in.
First pitch, Ashton Maloney sees, fought straight back. So Altmaier on second, Nichols on first, only third base unoccupied, though the Razorbacks just need 1 out to limit the damage to 1 run. Ashton Maloney, who throughout her career has seen time at both ends of the lineup. In the 9-hole here, trying to turn it over for Caden Henry on deck. Maloney last year's second team All-SEC, also all defensive squad as well. With 2 on and 2 out, right up the middle. Razorbacks will strand 2 Longhorns, but not before J.C. Nichols plates the first burnt orange run of the weekend, bringing Leanne Good home on the 2-out. Bottom third of the order for the Razorbacks. They have gone in order so far against today's pitcher, Citlali Gutierrez. This is Natalia Rijo. 1 pitch and 1 out. So Texas comes into this week 5th in the nation. Your defending national champions gearing up for the SEC tournament. You see their record. They have slipped to 5th RPI, which is still pretty darn good, and with a win today against Arkansas, and certainly with 2 wins this weekend against Arkansas, if they can find the weekend series, that'll rocket them right back up towards the elite. But both these teams, regardless of how the next 2 days play out, have to be pretty pleased and pretty optimistic that if they survive their own regionals, they'll be hosting Supers as well.
Maybe meet back up again in the World Series.
Here's Kaylee Wyckoff. And she'll shoot that one just foul by just a handful of inches down that third base line. First time Kaylee Wyckoff suited up here in Austin. It was with Texas Tech. Her freshman year, played a weekend series here in Austin. Her 2 years at Tech, each time eliminated in the Big 12 tournament by Texas. That was before Nigel Kennedy took up residence along with a new head coach named Jerry down in the South Plains. Again, Wyckoff in the 8-hole, Kennedy Miller on deck.
Wyckoff actually had one of the RBIs in yesterday's game, being able to hit a ground ball to second base and advance that runner from third.
And before yesterday was 6 for 22 in her career against Texas pitching. All of that with the Red Raiders, where she was your Big 12 Freshman of the Year and twice All-Conference. She's one of 3 Katy High School products. Of course, Katy just west of Houston on this Razorback roster. She'll go chasing on that one down in the dirt. Reese Atwood secures the 4th strikeout of the day for Gutierrez, her first time through the lineup.
Lolly being reliable here. She worked away on that last pitch. Whitecock seemed to not think it was a strike, and then she expanded the zone a little bit more with that off-speed working down and got the chase.
Talking about returning Texans, this is a homecoming for Kennedy Miller. Standout up the road in Georgetown for the Eagles. She helped lead Georgetown High School to their first 2 ever state tournament appearances. Her state championship is played right here on this field at McCombs, where her junior year they finished runner-up to Aledo. Have to imagine a few more fans in attendance, part of her cheering section tonight. With a walk yesterday, Kennedy now on a 17-game on-base streak. Your backstop for the Razorbacks this year. 2-1 ahead of the count to Gutierrez. Reagan Johnson on deck if Miller can become the first base runner today for the Razorbacks. '30th pitch from Gutierrez, shot out towards right. And it's been an efficient 9 up, 9 down for Gutierrez with 4 strikeouts and 5 putouts from the defense behind her along the way. Texas looking for insurance. Also checking in at number 5. They began this weekend both among the top 3, and by the end of the weekend they may both be again among the top 3.
Yeah, I would just say it just shows that they are built for these big moments, and they know that they can go up against the best of the best.
Caden to throw. Henry is on. First leadoff batter to reach for either team.
Caden Henry a little out in front of this outside at first with that movement of second base.
Let's see how aggressive Texas is with Katie Stewart at the plate. Henry will feign a move to second, but right now all the attention on Katie Stewart. 0 for 4 these last 2 days against Arkansas pitching. If you want a glass half full, that to most folks would mean she's due.
Henry with 23 stolen bases on the year, 25 attempts. I mean, I would anticipate her going at some point unless Katie Stewart just
the throw of Davison. It was a nice throw from Miller. Caden Henry in scoring position now for Katie Stewart.
Pitch up in the zone. Caden Henry takes off for second. Close play there, but that gives her 24 stolen bases on the year, still ranked number 1 in the SEC for stolen bases.
Stewart will fight off the subsequent offering. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Texas brought 6 batters to the plate in the second. They stranded a pair but did plate the lone run so far in this matchup, when Leanne Good came home with 2 outs on the RBI single from J.C. Nichols. Just again, another opportunity where the bottom third of the order for the Longhorns came through. Not sure the last time Katie Stewart was ever inked into the bottom third of the lineup. She has embraced being a marquee hitter for Texas, and she'll take the free pass and take the available base over there at first. 2 on, nobody out. Second walk today for a Longhorn. No free passes for the 25 Longhorn hitters yesterday from Burnham and Herron. Here's Vivi Martinez. Grounded out back to Burnham back in the first inning. Vivi found ways to contribute while having a redshirt last year with the injury, working with her teammates who are filling her shoes over there at shortstop, helping them improve defensively with some advice. Able to, of course, win that job back this year from day one once she got the green light medically. As it stands, it's still a 1-run ball game with Katie Stewart, the only base runner left, at third.
Texas is challenging the out call at the plate. It's now under review.
Against a lesser defense, bases are loaded with nobody out. With the great bunt from Martinez, Arkansas not only got the out, as again, of course, reviews during conference play are handled back in Birmingham.
Kaden Henry goes. She might have clipped her hair with the tag. This might be a harder view, but it looks like she tried to work around, not fully a hook slide, but to get around that tag. That first view might be the best view for it all.
I have a feeling we're not going to hear the word confirmed. It's just either going to be stands or overturned. And I think they're going to score that run. We'll see.
That is a close play.
Did she get the ear? I think other angles
the ear,
suggest
the
no.
ribbon.
I had a game last week in Waco between Baylor and Oklahoma State where the long braids of hair were clearly tagged and they ruled that individual safe. And so how do they interpret any contact with that ribbon in the hair? We're still waiting on the verdict as we simply speculate up here.
I don't know if this is enough to overturn.
Will it be 2-0 Texas with 1 out, or does the score remain 1-0? Give you another look. Any contact with any part of Henry.
I think it might have been the ear.
Yeah, does she send that batting helmet a little ajar? That has to be what our home plate umpire thought he saw.
I mean, Vivi Martinez with the short game to advance the runners, but Kaden Henry being heads up to then advance home.
Obviously, the review taking a while. And we will find out when you find out at home. Mike White thought it was worth testing this infield, see if they could execute with the speed of Kaden Henry.
I think it's better to be aggressive with a base runner as quick and smart as Kaden Henry.
The call on the field has.
And how about your MVP on that play? It might be Ella McDowell for seeing nobody was covering home, getting there, and quickly able to apply the tag. Reese Atwood will bring Katie Stewart home. It's still a productive inning for Texas.
Reese Atwood with that hit to left yesterday and following it up again today with a similar outcome, but instead putting runs on the board for Texas.
Both of the Longhorns' runs have come with 2 outs now. First pitch, the All-American song. Leanne Good, the first base run of the day for either team, walked last inning with 1 out. She was the only player to cross home before moments ago was Katie Stewart. So the 2 Longhorns who have walked in this game have been your 2 runs thus far. That sounds very familiar to the formula yesterday for Arkansas. Free passes coming back to bite you.
Texas looks a lot more disciplined at the plate today, finding pitches in their zone that they want to swing at, committing to them, and sticking to their plan.
Texas has already matched the 4 hits they had all of last night. Good, the 5th batter this inning. And she'll sit on the 3-0 offering.
Reese Atwood on first base, Leanne Good in the box. 2 of your AUSL Golden Ticket winners for the upcoming college draft.
I guarantee that they will have the chance to play pro. Of course, this year the AUSL embraced home markets, one of them being up the road in Round Rock, led by a general manager by the name of Catherine Osterman. Good, out towards center, back tracking, but short of the warning track. There's your 3rd out. It could have been worse for the Razorbacks, but Texas does manage 1 to find some insurance on this Saturday night. Big Suey or a Hook'em Horns, and I'm pretty sure you'll be able to hold Mike White to that when we check in with him a little bit later on. Appreciate the time of Courtney Deifel, who again, as a player, knows what it's like to win the final game of the year back in 2002 with Cal. Back to the top of the order for the Razorbacks. It's Reagan Johnson, one of the 4 strikeout victims today for Citlali Gutierrez. And she'll look to be
all the range in center field and being able to make it that diving catch.
speedy center fielder on speedy center fielder crime here at McCombs. Johnson kept off the base paths. 10 straight batters retired by Gutierrez and this phenomenal defense behind her. Here's Brinley Bain trying to end the drought. Former Miss Tennessee softball. What a year it's been for her in her first year as a collegiate athlete. After a couple of state championships back in Eagleville, Tennessee in the Volunteer State. Both her parents played community college ball, softball and baseball.
As a freshman, Brinley Bain isn't just hitting super well, but she has the most walks on the team.
Yeah, love her in that 2 spot behind Reagan Johnson. Sees the zone so well, gives Johnson chances to advance herself into scoring position when she's on. 3-1 offering from Gutierrez to Bain. There's your first base run of the day for Arkansas. A 1-out walk.
Bain able to work back from the strikeout that she had in the first inning, being more disciplined with her approach at the plate and drawing that walk.
So first 10 batters were retired. Now the Razorbacks will bring the tying run to the plate, Ella McDowell. Underneath this one. Let's see if Martinez will give way to Altmaier. 2 away. And that means Bain has to stay at first. And Tiana Bell with a chance to extend this 4th inning. Of course, Tiana Bell started her career at Cal. The alma mater of her head coach. Unique thing for Tiana. At Cal, she was both all Pac-12 and all ACC. Now looking for perhaps conference honors here in the SEC, the cleanup hitter. Over the right side. Katie Stewart able to keep it in front of her. And while the Razorbacks in the perfect start from Citlali Gutierrez, unable to put a dent on the scoreboard. It's Texas still up by 2. On a 2-run lead, Hannah Wells will lead things off 1-for-1 tonight, singled back in the 2nd. Mentioned Hannah got the opportunity to be your first starter this year in front of the home crowd the night they unveiled the national championship banner in center field. Not only got the victory that day, but also launched her. But who knows? And we think that'll end the start for Peyton Burnham. As the Razorbacks look to the dugout, and Hannah Wells, take a look at her numbers. When she gets barrel on the ball, good chance it is not going to be recoverable. Razorbacks the first to dip in the bullpen. We'll get you more information on the new arm when you rejoin us. Innings of work here in Austin. The freshman out of Wisconsin, making her 22nd appearance already on the year. And her numbers would look just fine if it weren't for the gaudy numbers put up by your 2 primary starters there out of Fayetteville. So bottom third of the order here for the Longhorns. Kaya Altmaier reached on a fielder's choice 0-for-1 today, back in the 2nd inning. Lincoln Rose, Bella Dayton with you as again Kaya Altmaier coming over after 3 years at Arizona. She was a career .355 hitter. Really had a great week this week, bouncing back from illness last weekend. Though Texas took care of business up in Lexington, Kentucky, and I'll hope to do so again this next week. Texas trying to hand the Razorbacks just their second Game 2 loss all year, both in conference play and out of conference play. Only Florida took a Game 2 this year from the Razorbacks.
Yeah, it seemed that every first game that Arkansas lost, they were able to come back in the second game. When I talked to Coach Deifel, she said that she didn't know until her son actually told her about that stat.
Yeah, there's a lot of high softball IQ in that dugout, some of whom not on the payroll. But we're out there warming up. This one out towards center. Johnson underneath it, one away.
Texas is going to have to switch their approach from Burnham upper 60s to Timmerman just right under 65 miles per hour with the changeup.
J.C. Nichols is single with 2 outs back in the second inning, gave Texas a 1-0 lead. Squares around, can't get the bunt down on the first try. And Texas would score with 2 outs in the second and do so again in the third. Nichols 1 for 1 today.
With that poke to left field, J.C. Nichols started the season pretty much hitting away, and then Coach wanted to try a slap. So halfway through the season to now, she's pretty much a triple threat, can bunt, can slap. You see her more slapping now than hitting away, but could probably go situationally.
1-1 offering from Timmerman, who came in after the home run solo blast off the bat from Hannah Wells to begin this inning for the Longhorns. That ended the start for Peyton Burnham.
Timmerman gets her swings and misses up and down throughout the zone. Her off speed has good location placement, low and away to righties.
1-2 as she'll get the strikeout to Nichols. Just the second Longhorn to strike out today against Arkansas pitching. Nichols is in good company. The other one was Reese Atwood.
Maximizing this off-speed pitch, drop off the table, and get J.C. Nichols.
Gives away to Ashton Maloney. Grounded out to left side in the second inning. A former state soccer champion in her time growing up in Liberty, Missouri. Now in her final year as a senior here in the Lone Star State. Just such a reliable presence out there in the outfield. If Texas has improved on anything from a year ago, their defense already in championship form. Of course, last year, no errors for Maloney patrolling right field. This one out of play.
I mean, just her throws alone from the outfield tell a story. Throwing runners out. I mean, I wouldn't run on Ashton Maloney.
She'll try to extend this inning with 2 outs. Instead, down on strikes, Sailor Timmerman comes in, and after the home run given up to Hannah Wells, she's able to retire today. And Arkansas not willing to concede this game, still have plenty of time to fight. Though 1 pitch is all it takes to retire Dakota Kennedy. 0 for 2 now today. And it was Oklahoma and Texas A&M with their Big 12 lineage who showed out last year's your NCAA champions. Parity has defined this conference. It's a big reason why we're no stranger to hearing every team's name called by the committee when that NCAA tournament bracket is unveiled. Here's Carly Davison, struck out to end the second inning against Gutierrez, who's faced 1 more than the minimum, walking Brinley Bain last inning. Today by the Razorbacks. The 1-1 to Davison. This will be playable out and left for Altmaier. 2-1. That'll give way to Atalia Rijo, who just saw 1 pitch her last time up when she popped out to her shortstop counterpart, Vivi Martinez. Rijo's mom, Audrey, played her college softball at Albany and UNC Wilmington. Riho grew up in New York. Her dad played professional baseball. Her cousin is Jose Rijo, who back in 1990 shut down Jose Canseco and Mark McGuire's bid for back-to-back World Series when Rijo led the Reds and Lou Pinella's squad to the Fall Classic crown. Now Rijo, the 7-hole hitter, 0 for 1 today. She was 0 for 1 with a walk yesterday. Remember, the Longhorns last weekend, big part of their success against Kentucky, no pitcher gave up any free passes, whether it be walks or hit batters. And yesterday, all of a sudden, Arkansas was given several free passes and made them count more often than not. 2-1 to Rijo.
So Ollie's presence right now on the mound is shining. With that defense behind her, she probably feels like she has such more confidence being able to work more in the zone.
Has to feel good to know you've got that defense behind you and the leadership of a catcher like Reese Atwood, your Johnny Bench Award winner, top catcher in the nation a year ago, helping you behind the plate. Payoff pitch. That'll get past Arkansas, can make some noise here in the 5th. A nice at-bat for the 7-hole hitter. Finally finds one that she's able to get out of the infield.
Rijo was able to take this pitch that was kind of left middle out. Maloney and right. Rijo safe at first.
That'll give way to Kaylee Wyckoff. Struck out back in the 3rd. Last strikeout victim so far today for Gutierrez, working with a 3-run lead after Hannah Wells launched the home run last half inning. But you're talking about Kaylee Wyckoff. What a luxury. Throughout her career, she's made at least 9 starts at 5 different positions, including behind the plate. Your left fielder these days for the Razorbacks. There was nowhere to go.
It just shows how much versatility Wyckoff has. Slow roller to first base. Wyckoff beats the ball to the bag. Katie Stewart unsure if she should take the bag or if it was already too late to feed it to Leanne Good.
Yeah, back-to-back base hits to break up the no-hitter for Citlali Gutierrez here in the 5th inning, and that means the tying run comes to the plate with 2 outs. It's Kennedy Miller, we mentioned, a homecoming for her, growing up just north of Austin in Georgetown. Right now only third base unoccupied with 2 away. And that is 2 more hits from the bottom third of the order than Arkansas got. Brief chat there with Patty Ruth Taylor, who a few years ago was brought in and entrusted with this pitching staff as Mike White willing to let go of some of those responsibilities.
Patty Ruth Taylor has done such a great job of figuring out what works best for her pitchers and making it known what's working that day, how they should pitch to hitters, especially in a situation like this. 2 runners on, a big hitter up to bat.
For Miller, what a time this would be to extend her on-base streak to 18 games. If she could be the 3rd straight Razorback to reach with 2 outs, Reese Atwood making sure the infield's on the same page as they just need 1, but a 2-0 count to the 9-hole hitter Miller. Rijo on second, Wyckoff on first. Martinez, oh, what a hawk! This will put the Razorbacks on the board. And that is anything but home field advantage. Vivi Martinez absolutely knew she had a couple of chances.
Ball hit off the bat low. Looks like it should be a potential double play, but gets redirected by who knows what in the infield. Allows Arkansas to advance runners to both second and third.
3 straight hits. Now
Score.
with 2 outs. Rijo comes home to score, the first to single this inning. And now we'll see some changes on the base paths, notably for Miller, the catcher. As Arkansas with 2 more in scoring position, including the tying run, Jaden Wells.
In a situation like that, from an outfielder's perspective, you know she's going to be safe at third, so maybe save that backside runner from getting to second.
Back to the top of the order, Reagan Johnson, who was robbed of potentially the first base hit of the day for Arkansas last inning by Caden Henry out there in center. Picked up in foul territory. Atwood will make the throw just in case. Fifth batter this inning after the first two were retired. Make it sixth, batter this inning for the Razorbacks. They're looking to claim a SEC weekend series on the road here on a Friday evening after picking up a 2-0 win yesterday over Texas.
Infielders are in. Outfield doesn't have a total shift on Johnson, but they are also shifted in.
Wyckoff, the runner on third. Wells, the pinch runner on second. A 2-run ball game. Texas still looking for that third out. As Johnson, the fourth Razorback to come to the plate with 2 outs. Already 1 run having come home to score. Talia Rijo, who got it all started.
2 outs. Johnson's looking to place one in the gap to at least score the runner from third.
3-1, that'll get through. And it's a 2-run inning as the 2-out parade continues for the women from Fayetteville. Wyckoff comes home the final 60 feet. The RBI from Reagan Johnson.
Again, Johnson being patient up there at the plate, finding a pitch to drive through the gap to score that runner from.
So runners on the corners for Arkansas, including the potential tying run 60 feet away, whether it be a pass ball, wild pitch, or a ball put in play. Mike White will make his first trip along with his first-year assistant, Aaron Earlywine, to talk to everybody. Citlali Gutierrez, we'll see her start come to a conclusion as she'll hand the ball over. Texas makes its first change in the circle tonight, hanging on to a 1-run lead. 2/3 innings here in the fifth. 4 hits with 2 outs to extend the frame, and Arkansas just needs to plate 1 more to make this a brand new ball game. Cam Salmon will see her first action of this SEC weekend. Her job is to find an out before Arkansas finds more runs here in the fifth.
Yeah, it's all about those in-game adjustments. Arkansas just needs to trust their plan and preparation offensively and maximize on that.
Arkansas finally found their first base runner last inning with a 1-out walk. Now 4 straight singles. Here's Brinley Bain.
Salmon throws screw, drop, change. In the upper 60, 65 to 67 miles per hour with her change at about 58. She's in a growing role here at Texas, adapting to whatever's brought to her.
Gets the strike. 2-1 the count to Bain, who's trying to pass the torch to Ella McDowell in the on-deck circle. Again, it's the bottom third of the order for Arkansas that got all this started with 2 outs. 2 of them have already scored. The pinch runner Wells is on third. Oh, Vivi would have had a play.
Pitch on the outside corner, a little elevated, takes it to the left side to secure the ball.
It'll be the first error of the ball game instead of a 5th straight single for Arkansas, who's now threatening to take the lead with a runner in scoring position, that being Reagan Johnson and her speed. Bain behind her at first. Ella McDowell, your 3-hole hitter, 0 for 2 today. The All-American. Second batter faced by Cam Salmon. That one's not going to get far enough away from Atwood to test or tempt Reagan Johnson over on second. Razorback base runners last night gave a lot of respect to Atwood. To McDowell is foul. Again, Dakota Kennedy and Carly Davison were retired in order to begin this fifth inning. And Riho, Wyckoff, Miller, Johnson, and Bain have all reached. The first three of those have scored to tie up this ball game.
McDowell kind of rolls over this ball, ground ball to Salmon, and it almost looks like she wasn't able to secure it.
Again, you had the speed of Johnson on second with 2 outs, so she is running no matter what. She never had to stop, crosses home plate to give the Razorbacks their second lead in as many days. Now your 9th batter of the inning, the 7th to come to the plate with 2 outs, Tiana Bell.
Tiana Bell, clutch. Had an RBI yesterday down left field line to put them up 2-0. Now she's in a position again to get him even further ahead.
A couple of ground outs, her first 2 at-bats, one to Martinez, the other one to Katie Stewart. And 9th batter this inning, 4 hits and 2 errors, adding up to give the Razorbacks a lead. Only first base unoccupied here in the top of the 5th. If Bell can reach, we've got Kennedy on deck. Patty Ruth Taylor is going to go talk to Cam Salmon, who, again, entered this inning. And the 2 batters she has faced have both reached on infield errors. But a lead has turned into a deficit against an Arkansas team that has played very well this year against some tough competition away from Fayetteville. We'll note, oh, by the way, Arkansas, #1 team in the nation, batting average with runners in scoring position, and they have made it count here in the 5th. This is the first inning they've had runners in scoring position.
2 outs. I think Cambria Salmon just needs to pitch her game, pitch what she knows is best and what can work effectively against these hitters. Again, 2 outs, runners in scoring position. Trust the defense behind you and allow yourself to work in this count.
Well, she may not have another pitch, as Mike White is going to make another change. Cam Salmon got a couple of ground balls, but the defense behind her could not find that 3rd out. Instead, a couple of errors to extend this inning, as Tegan Gavon, for 2nd straight night, will step into the circle for Texas. The Razorbacks have been just fine away from the comforts of home cooking of active SEC members. Again, they have been the best since 2021 in terms of claiming series on the road, taking 19 of the last 23. And boy, does that pay off if you find yourself on the road at any point in the NCAA postseason, though they've done their best to make sure their resume is strong enough that they shouldn't leave Fayetteville unless they're going to Oklahoma City. They were being no-hit coming into the 5th inning. Lolly Gutierrez went 4 2/3 of no-hit softball, but all of a sudden 7 straight, now an 8th straight batter coming up this inning. This is Tiana Bell facing Tegan Gavon, who Tegan, with the nature of this game, has not thrown a pitch these first 2 games with a lead. 111 pitches yesterday, where just a couple of pitches that narrowly missed cost her, and there will be Bell loading the bases, as the Razorbacks officially now will bat around as we see Dakota Kennedy for a 2nd time.
For for Tegan right now. It's all about location, attacking that strike zone, staying out of, predictable situations.
Tegan only came out for one batter when Hannah Wells pitched to one individual for Arkansas last night. Then Kavan came in to close out the game. It would be a 2-0 loss for Texas. Texas with the first 3 runs tonight. Arkansas responding 4 runs with 2 outs here, looking for more with Kennedy at the plate.
Kennedy just has elite speed and just has this offensive spark for the Arkansas Razorbacks.
She's 0 for 2, including the first out of this inning. Sacramento native earlier this year against Kansas had 3 home runs in the same game. Comes up with bases loaded and 2 outs against the defending national champions. Four straight 2-out singles for Arkansas, followed by 2 infield miscues, and then the free pass a moment ago to Bell, bringing Kennedy back to the plate. They'll appeal down, did not swing, and the pitch itself did not merit the strike call.
That up and in pitch from Tegan Gavon to lefties. If you're not on time for that.
That time they got her. Tegan Gavon with a K, but not before the Razorbacks strike for 4. In the top half of the 5th inning, breaking up the no-hitter along the on 4 hits and 2 errors from the Longhorns. And what a top of the 5th. Now time for Texas to try to answer.
Arkansas did a great job there of just capitalizing on the momentum shift to them, using those errors to their advantage and just passing the bat.
Sailor Temmerman continues in relief here in the bottom of the 5th. Top of the order for Texas. Again, we saw 3 different Longhorn pitchers last half inning. Finally, Kavan got that elusive 3rd out with a strikeout.
Timmerman, again, able to work that drop and rise, different locations in the zone, working mid-60s.
She sees Caden Henry for her first time. Remember Henry singled back in the 3rd, was out with a close play at home when she was tagged on the ear, and she'll get a leadoff walk here.
Just a dangerous person to have on the bases. Caden Henry gets to first again, and who's to say she won't steal in the next pitch, 2 pitches?
Already has a stolen base tonight. So she's 24 of 26 on the year. Longhorns have gotten their leadoff batter on each of the last 3 innings, including Henry's single in the 3rd and Henry again with the walk here in the 5th. And that's always good news for Katie Stewart to have a teammate ahead of her. Though Katie Stewart walked and scored back in the 3rd at the time to make it 2-0. 24 home runs on the year, a new program record. Looking to add to that heading into the postseason.
Beating out her teammate Reese Atwood. I mean, what better place to do it? Better people. I mean, you're basically in competition with your teammate on how many home runs you can hit.
Yeah, so much of their time this year is protecting one another in the lineup. Katie Stewart, though, has moved up to the 2-hole.
I mean, she almost has as many home runs as she does walks.
Her 4th strikeout of the weekend. And she'll go down looking at that offering from Timmerman. Gives way to Vivi Martinez. Another look.
2 strikes, drop ball on the outside corner. It's hard to be passive in a situation like this. Runner on first base. You're down by 1 run.
Texas has scored in each of the last 3 innings, though no crooked numbers as of yet. Arkansas waited until the 5th in the top half of this inning to plate their 4. See if Vivi Martinez can find that pebble over on the left side.
You can see that the shortstop is shaded up the middle a little bit. Vivi seems to get all her hits pull side.
And 1 on, 1 out. The leadoff walk to Henry. See if Texas can bring her around to make this a brand new ball game. Instead, back-to-back backwards Ks from Timmerman.
Timmerman getting this pitch right at the hands of Vivi Martinez.
Reese Atwood, first pitch she saw in the third. Was able to drive home a teammate. It was an RBI single at the time that made it 2-0, scoring Katie Stewart. Just trying to extend this fifth, see if Texas can work some two-out magic like Arkansas did earlier this inning. Atwood at the plate, Leanne Good on deck. Count 1-1 as she faces Sailor Timmerman for the first time. And Timmerman came in last inning after the home run from Wells. They're going to say she went on the appeal down to first. So she finds herself behind on the count, 1-2 with 2 outs. And Reese will ask for time.
Burnham, who is throwing a lot of rise and change, and now Timmerman, who's working down and out of the zone with her drop. Switch of eye level.
Runner is going, and Henry will have her second stolen base of the night. And you figured that might be the case, that she would go. Worst case scenario, Reese Atwood would lead off next inning. Now, best case scenario, you've got a runner in scoring position for one of the top bats in the nation. We mentioned Reese has a propensity for extra base hits. They're going to.
Arkansas is challenging that the runner at first base possibly left early on the pitch. It's now under review.
Is it too good to be true? Arkansas thinks it is worth taking a look. They're not challenging the play at second, but whether Henry actually left first base prematurely. You see, Easley was in at second.
He's safe at second.
If they are successful, inning will be over. And Courtney Deifel in her 11th year. If she can find a win today or tomorrow, that's her 400th with Arkansas. And the ball is out of the hand.
I think her back foot is pretty much still on first base.
A lot of people will look at base runners on first and ask, why are they starting behind the bag? But that's exactly why right there. It helps you stay on longer.
After further review, the runner did not leave early. This is Arkansas's first challenge.
Yeah, textbook base running by Caden Henry, her second stolen base of the night. Now in scoring position for Reese Atwood. Arkansas thought it was worth a look.
At this point in the game, when you're only up by 1, fastest runner on second base with your biggest hitter up to bat.
And Atwood, after seeing her last 2 teammates strike out looking, lays off that one. And she'll live to tell about it. Now a full count. With 2 outs, the payoff pitch from Timmerman. Underneath this one, Wyckoff comes in. And there's your third out. Texas will strand the tying runner in scoring position. 5 complete here on this SEC week. Up there in Norman, Oklahoma, who's been stealing headlines as she is looking to not just tie and narrowly surpass, but cruise past that long-time record of 37 home runs in a single season in Division I. As we've seen an offensive renaissance from home run hitters, not just Katie Stewart here in Austin, breaking single season marks. Arkansas looking for insurance. It's Carly Davison over 2 with a strikeout and fly out tonight. Razorbacks brought 10 to the plate, 8 with 2 outs last inning, scoring 4. If they had scored one more, I think they'd be even happier because remember this year when they have just a 2-run lead, that's all they need. They've only lost once this year. Now it's to Oklahoma. And down on strikes, could not lay off that one. Davison will be sat down for a second time. Tegan Kavan with a pair of strikeouts.
Tegan Kavan works up and in just like what she did yesterday when she got those 4 strikeouts against Arkansas.
That'll give way to the bottom third of this Arkansas lineup that if the score holds, they're your hero collectively. Riho, Wyckoff, along with Miller, each with 2-out singles back in the 5th. All 3 of those individuals would score with Miller having Wells as a pinch runner for her. Riho got it all started last inning. Comes up here with 1 out. Again, presumably Tegan would get the start tomorrow. But how much work is she going to have to do today? We mentioned Never was given a lead to work with yesterday. Comes in with a deficit tonight.
And it's all about working ahead in the count, attacking the strike zone, and staying out of those predictable situations. Tegan able to throw the rise in to both righties and lefties, and then work the changeup in there.
Count will hold at 1-2 after that one fought foul.
Kavan, one of the top 25 finalists for the USA Softball Player of the Year award, alongside her first baseman teammate, Katie Stewart.
Over to the right side, good. In this infield, trying to get back on track. 2 away. I think Tegan and Katie would be happy for one another if the other one was your National Player of the Year. Means some good things have probably happened once again.
Just great accomplishments. And 2 of the sweetest people. They're happy for their teammates. They know what this game is all about, and they just love working to win.
You're not supposed to let the folks at home know how nice they are. They've got their game faces on.
Grr.
Kaylee Wyckoff, again, a 2-out single last inning. She would score the 2nd run as she gives way here to Kyler Del Duca, a freshman out of Chino, California. Where in high school, played a variety of sports, including high school flag football. Comes up with 2 outs. Up 3-down inning here in the 6th. 2 teams, if they can pick up a win today and tomorrow, may very well find themselves with a double bye. But right now it's Texas just looking to force a rubber match tomorrow. Otherwise, it'll be the Razorbacks eyeing a sweep with the Saturday matchup in Game 3. Home half of the 6th inning. Arkansas utilizing a 4-run 5th to overcome a 3-run deficit. And Good scored the first run of the night back in the 2nd inning. 0 for 1 with a fly out and a walk. It's her first time to come to the plate since the bottom of the 3rd. First time to see Timmerman. And a 3-0 count for Good.
Timmerman with a 2.97 ERA. That's not even just showing what she's been doing in the last couple innings.
And a 4-pitch walk for Good. That is 4 straight innings. Texas has gotten their leadoff batter on, including back in the 4th inning when Hannah Wells was able to spark things
into scoring position.
Now back in the 4th, she did not have a runner on in front of her. That's the tying run on first and Good. Let's see if the bottom half of Texas's lineup can come through and erase the deficit. Again, that her 11th home run, 3rd best on this team behind Stewart and Atwood. This will get out of play foul. This would likely be a capacity crowd on this Friday evening if not for that weather. It was an absolute downpour all evening. Reason why a 2 o'clock start time got pushed to 7. And the count 1-2. Wells falls behind Timmerman. Wells was the last batter that starter Peyton Burnham saw before giving way to Timmerman. Timmerman has faced just 2 more than the minimum, a couple of walks. He's out a dead ball in the box. Timmerman 4 strikeouts, a couple of walks to the first 8 batters she has seen in relief. No runs conceded. And along the way, the bats of Arkansas have rewarded her, erasing that 3-run deficit and giving her a 1-run lead. This will also get out of play.
Texas started off very disciplined in the box. No need to change what they were doing from the start. Whether you're up or you're down, you stick to your plan, stick to your process. That's what a championship team does.
Now hit off the back foot of Wells.
Battling here right now with 2 strikes. Hannah Wells waiting for her pitch to come so that she can barrel it and stay through this one, putting Leanne in scoring position, if not scoring her.
And it was a 4-pitch walk to good. Wells about to see her 7th pitch. And this one back towards us.
Coach White talked about reframing the other day, something that we used to use when I played. Just in tough situations, how can you reframe to look at it a different way and use it to your advantage?
That ball just gets away from Miller, and despite hesitation, Good finally decides to go, and she'll get second base. And she finds herself in scoring position.
Leanne Good, sneaky speed. She sees this ball, kind of hesitates to go back to first, and then bolts to second, safe at second.
The 2-2 to Wells, not chasing that one. Well, if you discount the home run from Wells back in the 4th, Texas has not had a runner standing in scoring position since back in the 3rd inning. Now they do with Good. Wells was not in scoring position very this pass. A time called by the freshman.
Leanne Good put herself in scoring position last night with her hit to left field. That would have tied the game if there was a clutch hit to score her.
Again, a ball out of play, and we'll see if we have enough softballs to play out the rest of this one.
Quality at bat here for the freshman Hannah Wells. Still fighting.
Good, the leadoff walk, standing in scoring position. The payoff pitch. Got her. Timmerman will strike out Wells for the first out here in the 6th inning. What a battle.
Timmerman battling with what pitch to throw. Goes up and out of the zone to get this chase from Hannah Wells.
On to the bottom 3rd of the order for Texas. Here's Kaya Altmaier. First pitch she sees. Over to Davison. It'll move Good down to 3rd. Tying run for Texas, 60 feet away, with J.C. Nichols coming to the plate. 2 outs.
With 1 out, runner on second. Pretty good hit from Kaya Altmaier to advance that runner to 3rd. Now we're 2 outs. Texas is up with J.C. Nichols. Let's see what she decides to do.
Mike White, just before the season started, summed J.C. Nichols up as a quiet assassin. See if she can come through with the tying run 60 feet away and 2 outs. Cannot get the bunt down. The count evens up at 1-1.
Would have been a close play. Not really expecting a squeeze bunt with 2 outs. Pretty quick runner, Leanne Good at 3rd base.
Nichols' RBI single in the second when she brought Leanne Good home the first time, trying to do it again here. Both times Good reaching via walk against Arkansas pitching.
JC Nichols having an RBI earlier in the game. Can she do it again?
It's out of play. 2 of Texas's 3 runs have come with 2 outs, so only Hannah Wells' home run tonight has been a run scored with fewer than 2 outs for these 2 teams. That's 1 of the 7 runs tonight. Nichols, the most recent Longhorn, to battle at the plate. Nichols struck out her last time up against Timmerman back in the 4th. And time called by Texas. Mike White will talk both to Nichols as well as the batter in the on-deck circle, Ashton Maloney. His 8 and 9 hole hitters trying to produce the same magic we saw from Arkansas in the top half of the 5th with 2 outs.
Probably just talking about what's best for her in this situation. Is it to swing away? Is it to slap? Kind of sometimes base that off of what the pitcher is throwing. And in this situation, Timmerman is throwing both down and up.
Down to their final 3 outs in the 7th, but first the Hogs
Timmerman
looking for insurance.
The pitch before this was up and away. Then she gets JC Nichols to chase the down and out.
It would be their 20th SEC Road Series win out of their last 24. For Texas, again, this would be a shot in the arm in terms of RPI to pick up another top 10 victory for their resume. Again, no matter what the outcome tonight, there'll be another great chance for these 2 teams to build on that RPI tomorrow as they face each other for a 3rd time. 9-hole hitter Kennedy Miller leads things off.
Both teams just have so many veterans throughout their lineup. As cliche as it sounds, I mean, having fun is what brings this game to life. Being able to play calm and collected, having fun is what it's all about.
Miller had the 3rd straight 2-out single in the 5th inning. Ultimately, the pinch runner Wells would score on her behalf, but she has extended her team-best 18-game on-base streak with the single in the 5th. See if she can help Arkansas find that critical 2-run lead. Over the right side. And Katie Stewart can't backhand it. Not sure if Leanne Good would have had a play on it. Miller is on for the 2nd time tonight.
Yvonne was working ahead of the count, then tried to expand the zone and go out. Ground ball hit to the right side. Looks like Katie went to go field it, but Leanne probably had better range on that ball to get the runner out.
It is a infield base hit for Miller, 2 for 3 tonight. First hit now against Tegan Cavan. Back to the top of the order, Reagan Johnson. Johnson finally found her first hit. Part of that 2-out parade, an RBI single in the 5th.
Again, still seeing no shift from Texas for Johnson.
Withdraws the barrel of the bat. Pitch off the mark.
Nichols crashing on that showed bunt, but Katie Stewart staying back.
Already the all-time hits leader in Arkansas history, added to that in the 5th. 2nd best all-time in batting average. Came into the weekend 8 stolen bases shy of the all-time mark for Arkansas as well. Just truly a foundational player. Behind in the count to Cavan, 1-2. 3rd strikeout in relief for Tegan. 1-1.
Tegan has an advantage here, being able to work both sides of the plate. She started going outside to Johnson, and then on the last couple pitches, was able to work in for strike 3. As a slapper, you're pretty much looking for one pitch, and getting that inside from Tegan had to be just a change of eye.
I shortchanged Tegan. that strikeout she got in the fifth, that elusive third out. 4 on the night. Here's Brinley Bain, the freshman. One on, one out for Arkansas, up by 1. All 4 of their runs in the top of the fifth, after Texas had plated 1 in each of the second, third, and fourth innings to build a 3-0 lead here in Game 2 of this series. Razorbacks 101 straight weeks ranked in the top 25 dating back to 2020. And Courtney Deifel has reinvented the expectations over in Fayetteville in her 11th year at the helm. Her first ever win with Arkansas came here in Austin. A win tonight would give her 400. An excuse me swing over to Nichols will get the lead out, 2 away. So Miller off the base paths. Bain will run after the fielder's choice.
Tegan Gavon working up and into Brinley Bain. She kind of check swung to get that ground ball to Nichols for an out at second.
Ella McDowell reached on the throwing error. Back in the 5th inning with 2 outs to extend that frame and allow Arkansas to take a lead. And 3rd-team All-American last year, 2nd-team All-SEC. From Richmond, Texas, out of Foster High School. Her last 11 plate appearances at Foster High School, she has intentionally walked. Now in her sophomore campaign of her collegiate career. Trying to extend this 7th inning. That one fell. Leadoff single from Kennedy Miller. She's since been retired on the base paths with 2 outs. Brinley Bain, your lone base runner at first. Arkansas seeing if they can't give themselves just a little margin for error going into the bottom of the 7th. Texas will have their 9, 1, and 2 spots in the lineup due up, and of course these days that 2-hole occupied by Katie Stewart. With 2 outs, the 0-2 to McDowell. That one snagged by Nichols to rob McDowell, possibly to leading by 1. As we progress to the home half of the 7th inning, Lincoln Rose, Bella Dayton with you as it is Ashton Maloney 0 for 2 tonight out of the 9-hole trying to spark something. And the first pitch she sees will be retired. Texas down to their final 2 outs.
Timmer's been just showing a lot of confidence in that circle, being able to locate her pitches really well using the upper half of the zone and being able to go away and down to these hitters.
Well, these next 2 batters have a combined 30 home runs. 6 of them belong to Caden Henry. So Texas will have at least 2 batters come to the plate representing the tying run here in the bottom of the 7th. Henry has singled and walked tonight, 1 for 2 officially against Razorback pitching. That walk was her only plate appearance against Timmerman this evening.
Every time Caden has gone on, she's been able to put herself in scoring position. Now that would be crucial right here in the bottom of the 7th.
That one snagged in foul territory. And Katie Stewart's on deck. 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. She would welcome Caden Henry being on the base paths when she comes up.
Yeah, Coach White mentioned that she's just been comfortable in the role of being the one to do the job. Katie Stewart representing her confidence in prime situations.
Hard to believe, Caden Henry, already a junior. Remember talking to Mike White in the fall before her freshman spring campaign. She was already drawing comparisons to Mia Scott. Payoff pitch with one out. Caught looking. Third Longhorn to look at strike three from Sailor Temmerman, who is now fan 7.
With a 3-2 count in this position, you have to do the job of continuing to foul off till you get the pitch that you want. Timmerman doing a good job of going down in the zone and getting Kaden Henry on strike 3.
We saw that yesterday with Longhorn batters leaving it up to the umpire to determine their fate. And that includes Katie Stewart, who struck out 3 times yesterday and looked at strike 3 back in the 5th inning tonight. This one opposite field should get out of play, and it does foul. As well as Sailor Timmerman has pitched. One mistake to Katie Stewart, and it's a brand new ball game. You're hoping for extra innings. But right now, if she can retire Katie Stewart, Razorbacks claim a road weekend series once again in the SEC.
That's what I mean when I say Arkansas is just playing their game. To have that stat on road series, I mean, you're traveling, you're getting acclimated to the facilities, to the fan base, and you're being able to play your own game and take the series.
All 4 of their runs in that top of the 5th with 2 outs, aided by a couple of errors from the Longhorns. And Texas find a 2-out spark of their own, beginning with Katie Stewart. With Vivi Martinez on deck, Longhorns could be down to their final strike. A pop out and a strikeout so far for the 2 outs this inning from the Longhorn lineup. Temmerman with the 2-2 offering. And Stewart well ahead of that one.
Stewart fighting off anything close to the zone until she gets the pitch that she wants.
Again, the 2-2 from Timmerman. And the count goes full with 2 outs with the tying run at the plate for Texas. And this time, timeout called by Sailor Timmerman. What a moment for the freshman.